How's it going, everybody? Today we are doing the breakdown for Tonga, tour of North Georgia. It's going to be a good time. Real quick, let's jump into the race stats. All right, riding along with myself today, FTP 283, watts per kg is 3.9, coming in at a weight of 160, race age 33. Yeah, man, this is a great race. Me and the guys decided to do this like last minute, and it turned out to be a lot of fun. Push over to the race stats. Road race today, doing 2 hours and 30 minutes at a distance of 57 miles. Average speed right under 23 miles per hour. Normalized power 256. Average power 174. So by the average to normalized power being such a big difference, you can tell like this race was pretty chill, other than the sprint preems and the final lap. And if you look up at the track map right below that, you'll see we're already 1 hour and 20 minutes in. So I believe we're on our third lap. You can see the elevation map below that, the gradient, all the fun stuff. Added a couple of different more graphics for you guys since we're doing a road race. Hopefully it's beneficial and enjoyable. But yeah, man, we're doing the Tonga. This is, I think all weekend we did the 3-4 race. And you can see Nick in front of me. Bryce is to my right. And this is the first road race. I think it was 7 laps total. But during each road race, there was points preems or lap preems, however you want to call it. And we kind of made an error when we were reading the race breakdown or the race Bible, and we thought that like the top 5 got points, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down. But it was actually only first through third would get points, and it was 5 points, 3 points, and 1 point. And with this first stage of the Omnium being relatively flat, like for a road stage, we really wanted to get as many points as we could between me and Nick. And you can see right here, everyone is really jockeying for position, fighting really hard, trying to monitor the yellow line, and just, you know, you can definitely tell that the intensity is ramping up with these points. One thing to note, we're coming up on the start-finish line. The feed zone is going to come up here on the right as well. And so you'll have guys that are wanting to feed. If you can see up the road right in front of the car, there's 2 lap riders that we're about to lap. And I noticed this, and I kind of tried to use this to my advantage right here and like kind of launch a little early, counter the group a little bit, and kind of there's an oncoming car. It kind of was like perfect timing to like a lot of different things were happening to open up a gap. And you check the rear cam, I got 2 riders coming on me and then no one else behind them. And all through here we're sprinting towards the line. I thought I was in really good position. As you can tell, my sprint for this first one was pretty terrible. Going into Tonga, I was having like a weird IT band / knee tendon issue, and I could not get out of the saddle to sprint. So all my efforts today, you'll see, are seated sprints. So I feel like I was a little bit of a deficit in being able to try and throw out as much power to claim as many preem points or lap points as I could. But it was something that, you know, ended up happening like late in the week, like right before we went to Tonga, and there wasn't really much else I could do. I already spent money on the ride, and that was about it, man. But I ended up getting 1 point on that first preem lap, and then now we're going to jump ahead to the second preem lap. I think it is lap 6. Oh, here's my teammate Nick just shoving me in the gutter. Gotta love a teammate. He did not realize I was on his left side, and he wanted to take the apex nice and wide for that turn, and I just had to follow him over into the other side of the road. But this course is really fun. There's one big hill you can see on the elevation map. We are not going to show that on this video. I will put out a video that's 1 full lap of the Clarksville road race, and that's where this first one is at. It's an 8.1 mile loop, and if anybody wants to just kind of get a course preview for next year or down the road, we'll have a full lap preview. I'll probably put the last lap in there for you guys. But we had the choice to do I think it was the P123 field or do the 3-4 field. And as a team, we collectively decided to do the 3-4. A lot of us are trying to get points to upgrade to Cat 2 during this time of the season, and we felt that the field was large enough that we were gonna be able to have a really good competition, but also feel like we could help control the race, control the narrative a little bit. And as you can see, Bryce is on the front, setting a really good tempo in there. He's checking back to see where we're at, and we're coming into this next feed zone and points lap. And the two guys that I'm fighting against are on my right here in the white bibs, orange socks, and then the junior rider with the stars and stripes on his shoulders. You'll see him on the right as well. Those were my biggest competitions when it was coming to this first day of road racing. But it was a really good time. One like weird fact is, like, when we started this race, the first turn, a guy crashed. Like, he crashed on the very first turn. I don't know if like no one said we were turning right or race jitters, but he crashed super hard, and it was a bit unfortunate. But here goes Nick on the counter, kind of just keeping the pace high, and this is kind of perfect for me to kind of just fall in line. And I'm feeling like I'm in great position right here. Get another like 800 solid 700 watt sprint, but I can't get out of the saddle to contest these guys, and so come in for a third place to gain another point. So those two up front already have a really big advantage on me with just daily points. And right here, a lot of times we were trying to figure out, like, should we kind of keep the pace going and like keep ramping it up to attack? And just how the course was laid out, you can see on the elevation map that like right after the start finish line, we have like a little bit of an uphill, but then it goes straight back downhill. So there's really no real reason to attack unless you had just a massive gap and a couple guys with you, because on that downhill, the group can just carry so much momentum. All right, we're skipping ahead. This is the final lap. We're coming into the final section of the race right here with 2 hours and 26 minutes in. It has been pretty uneventful. I was thinking that this steeper climb on this race was going to have some attacks, and it never really did. Thus, that's why I'm not showing it to you. It was pretty boring. I think a lot of guys were just really content of just having a good ride and a good race and enjoying themselves. And then you could tell like a select few of us were really, really competitive and wanting to get those premium lap points to carry into the next few days of racing. And so while this is probably the most intense part of the race right here, is like everyone is not giving up an inch. You really have to be confident in gaining wheels. Bryce goes right here, and I actually want to stay left because when we get closer to the start-finish line, there'll be a road sign, and at that point, you can actually use both lanes of traffic. But up until that sign, you cannot. So I'm kind of planning on like using it as a quick escape to. If I'm on the left side of the road right here, I can quickly like dive into the left side of the road and like be kind of out in the open, and I'm not really worried about like fighting anybody for position. Kind of like how we are right here. Everyone is like riding the yellow line. It's the last lap. Kind of anything goes, guys. It's, as long as no one does like some egregious like thing where they pass like 6 or 7 riders on the yellow line, like no one's really going to call it. I'm in perfect position right here. I feel really good, but at the same time, I know I can only put out so many watts seated, and I'm at a bit of a disadvantage. But this guy in the pink right here is doing a heck of a lead out for us, and I'm feeling super sheltered. Here comes a sign on the left, and right here, dive to the inside, and I just can't put out any more watts after doing 7 laps and 2.5 hours of racing. Get passed by a couple guys, currently fifth, and get passed at the line by a guy. So I get 6th on the day. I felt pretty good because all these other guys in front of me hadn't gotten any points as well. So technically, like, if you add my 2 lap points, I got about 4th on the day. So pretty good. Super fun. Anyways, it's relatively uneventful first day of the Omnium. Stay tuned for the next road race, which is extremely hilly. And then we also have a TT that same afternoon. Won't be showing footage of that. TTs are boring, especially on the internet. And then the third and final day is a criterium, which is extremely dynamic by our team and all the other GC contenders. Other than that, guys, appreciate you watching. Catch you later.